Hey YouTube, level 80 is here and the excitement is real. You can see it just with the YouTube content, like creators haven't posted in a while or posted about level 80. You can see it in like the Reddit threads. People are really talking about it and getting excited about the level ups and everything. And I think that 95% of this is great. I may My 5% dislike of this is probably something that a lot of people will say you're an idiot anyways, but let's go over level 80 because we're going to go over all the tasks from 71 to 80. I'm going to give you tips on some of these that you need to start doing now in anticipation of later levels. But overall, it's a very, very positive change. So level 80, the new XP levels are here. And the craziness in all this is that what did you need? 130 some odd million to get level 50. And now you only need 85 million based on this graphic here to get level 70. So you can see that they substantially lowered the amount you needed to get to that like baseline where the tasks are. I guess it would be the equivalent of like level 40 is now 70. Was it 85 million before? But they have upped the level 80 to 203 million XP. Now this is where people are going to say not agree with me. I think 203 million XP is way too low, and it does not. Pretty much anybody who has been playing this game for at least 5 years or more, which is a long time, and some of you are new and you're like, oh, that seems like an impossible task. But anyone who's been playing 5 years or more, guaranteed is already at 203 million XP. So it's not even an XP grind anymore. It's just a tasking grind. And while that is okay, there is some taskings here. I just think that you are going to. They tried to strike a balance between giving people who are already at level 50 something to look forward to that isn't just like the in-game task, it's something else, while not making it too hard for the people who are newer to this game. Like if you're only 1 to 2 years in, you are not anywhere near probably 200 million and you're still thinking that's still a grind for me. So I understand that they're trying to balance this, but I think it's almost like a slap in the face, not slap in the face, but it's almost skewed on the side to focus on the new players for the XP as opposed to those who've been playing for 5 years. So you guys know me, I've had this channel for 4.5 years, and since even 4.5 years ago, when I started this channel, it was the same thing. I don't do spotlight hour. I don't do raid hour. I maybe do an hour for community days. I don't do raid events. I do the big global go fests. And on my normal day, I'm playing GBL battles, opening, maybe spinning a few stops, catching a few Pokemon, and that's it. And despite me playing that way for the last 5 years, I have 280 some odd million XP, which means I'm already 80 million XP over the highest level here. So I just think that I just honestly don't think it's high enough. It does not give incentive to people who have played for a long time. And what all that's going to do is that when it comes to when these people who are so excited now posting like, I'm going to get to level 80 as fast as I can, and they get there, they're just going to get bored again. So I just don't think it gave us enough incentive for those who are longer, but I understand the balance. So that's just my take on the XP. But everything else with this is a positive. These new daily adventure eggs, I have hatched one, and they do give Pokemon. So it is just a random Pokemon. It was like I think a starter Pokemon, one of the later fire ones that popped out. But you also get 10,000 XP. And why I also think that 203 million XP is low. You know, back in the day, it was a grind to get XP. Now, truly, you get, it feels like 50,000 XP just for opening the game and like spinning a stop and catching a Pokemon. I know it's not that high, but it just feels like XP is given out at a substantial rate now. So I can see a lot of people hitting this XP very, very quick. This is a bonus, just an extra 10,000 XP to start your day there. Players who are level 70 have a chance of becoming lucky friends with other players. That's great. Again, not if long distance trading is the thing. I know that was mined. I'm hoping that comes soon. I'm currently sitting at lucky friends with 35 people, and in the Ottawa region, out of those 35, there are 5 or 6. So 29 of my lucky friends I will never lucky trade with at this point in my life, unless they make some distance trading. So is it awesome that there's more of a chance to become lucky friends? Yes, but without a sort of opportunity to trade more with people, it doesn't, unless you're like really only adding friends in your community, it doesn't help in the long run. But the rewards that they gave out for level 70 here were insane. Started with avatar items, and if avatar items are things, great, like bulk cap and jackets, and so different jackets, stuff like that, which is great. My avatar has been the same one since like season, when did I get that legend jacket? Like season 4 or 5 legend, with like the leather jacket has been my avatar since then. So it's been a while since I've changed my avatar items, but if you want options for avatar items, great. Right off the bat, a master ball. Like the level 71 to 80 rewards are actually not as good as the 70. The 70 seems to be a huge one. So this is just like a huge bonus for everyone, and not one I was expecting to have as much here. So master ball, fantastic. 150 item storage. Like if we're talking Poke coins that it takes to get this, it takes 200 Pokemon coins to get 50 for one of these, right? So when you add up between the item bag and the Pokemon storage of 400, you're essentially, it would take 8 times 200. So it would take 1,600 coins to get that Pokemon storage and item storage, which is huge. And as someone who loved when you're able to hold 35 plus 40 gifts, being able to hold more gifts is fantastic. So this, in my opinion, this page right here of the rewards was the best part of hitting level 70. Getting extra star pieces is great. And then it comes down to, how long have you been playing this game? Lucky eggs. I have been, and if you're on my friends list, I have let all my friends trigger when they're going to be best friends. And then because they added that pop-up that allow you to see when someone hit best friends and you get the XP and allow you to throw an egg on, I had at one point 95 eggs. And I've used like 30 of them just on like best friends hitting, and I'm like, okay, pop an egg. So that's why I've just been able to like add up XP. But I already still have 70 plus eggs. Lure modules, you use them, but I still got like 20 of these. Incense, when they nerfed it so that you have to be walking to actually get them so frequently, I'm probably sitting at like 70 incense. Super incubators, great. Max revives, again, I tossed 160 max revives. I probably tossed 100 of them. 320 max potions, I probably tossed 260 of them. Ultra balls I kept, and the equivalent, I tossed all the great balls. Pineapple berries, tossed probably all 200. Tossed 95 and 90 of these non-berries. So great if you, if you're maybe like a lower level and you don't raid much and you don't have access to these goods. You don't have access to a lot of Pokestops. Maybe these are great for you. The majority of these items just seems like more of a hassle than anything. It seems like I just needed to like go through, and because they give you like thousands of items and it just killed your bag space. So you had to like make a decision on whether you wanted to increase your bag storage and use Poke coins to do that, or delete a bunch of these items. And I just deleted a bunch of these items, but still way more than I expected. Like the amount of egg incubators and like I said, the star pieces is always a positive too, and this item store stuff is huge. So overall, fantastic, even though I tossed a lot of those. So let's get into the requirements here, because these are some that you need to start thinking about. So level 71, 15 platinum medals, power up legendary Pokemon 20 times, make 999 nice throws, and catch 100 Pokemon in a single day. So this is generally pretty easy. So the platinum medals, for those of you who do not know, here is the list of the medals and the goodbye ad. And if you go over here to the far side, you can just see how many. So kilometers walked, 10,000, Kanto Pokedex, Pokemon caught 50,000, and that is what you need for the platinum. And there are a lot of options here. I don't know how many there are in total. But as you can see, there's 50 plus platinum badges here. So needing only 15 should be pretty easy, especially if you're already at level 71. Again, maybe you've grinded XP without these platinum medals, but for the most part, people, I don't think the platinum medals are going to be an issue until you start getting into like the 30s here at level 75. Power up legendary or mythical Pokemon 20 times. That seems pretty easy. 999 nice throws. It's not hard to hit nice. It's just a lot of people use auto catchers. So now you need to actually throw it. So that's something that may take some time if you're not out grinding on a regular basis. With community days, you can go out there and just kind of fast catch hundreds of these during the community, like the time. So I think that this is generally pretty easy, in 100 in a day. Like a community day will knock out most of that. So level 71 seems like a piece of cake. Level 72. Is any of this hard? No. 200 super effective charge attacks. That counts in raids, and that counts in just like rocket battles, and that counts in doing just battles with a friend. So you get a friend with a second account, you get them have 3 like water Pokemon, and you get like a Pokemon that has like a quick electric move, and you like undercharge it. You can just basically throw like 5 or 6 per Pokemon, and then you're gonna knock out like 200 or like 20 super effective charge moves in like one battle. So it's very easy to get these super effective charge moves. That's not the issue. A million dust. A million dust is not nothing. That's for sure. There's enough like community days with 3 times dust. There's enough start of the day bonuses, and if you play GBL, you can pack in like 25,000 plus dust, just like that, and then end the season rewards are just through the roof, right? So I million dust may be a little tricky, but I think people can do it. Complete a route 7 days in a row. I don't know if I've completed 7 routes. Never mind in a row. So route 7 days in a row. This is one where, is it hard? No. There are some pretty short routes. I've been going out walking in the morning, and I've to take some gyms before I start work when I'm working from home. And there's basically a route that follows the gym path that I take, and I just kind of start it up as I'm walking in, and it's a pretty short route. It's like 3 blocks. So there are definitely easy routes out there. It's just needing to, it's the 7 days in a row. That's a check, right? So if like one day, it's just like, especially we're going to be getting into snow here soon. What happens if it's a snowstorm one day? Do I have to now just lose it and hope that I can get it next week? If I got like things going on, if kids' birthdays and other stuff, and I just can't get out, I'm just going to lose it. So it's one of those things that's like, it's easy, but it's one that you just need to actually prioritize to do. Purify 100 Pokemon or 100 Shadow Pokemon, level 73. This is where you need to start thinking about that now and holding your Shadow Pokemon. Try to, honestly, anytime you see a rocket right now, you should be playing it. And if you can get 1,000 is the cheapest purification. So if you can find rockets that have Pokemon that only cost 1,000 purify, sweet. If you have a lot of dust like I do, I've got like 12.5 million dust. The 3,000 purifies don't bother me, so I will probably start hoarding a bunch of 1,000 and 3,000 purified dust Pokemon, like to purify them. I'll toss the 5,000 because I think that is actually quite a lot to purify, but 1,000, 3,000 doesn't bother me. But yeah, if you're not going to be at level 73 for a while, just start looking for those 1,000 dust Pokemon. Power up 3 Pokemon to their max, win 30 raids. 30 raids is not bad. It's one of those things where if you do a couple raid hours and you use your like 1 raid pass a day, if you don't want to like spend money on the game, 1 raid pass a day, you can ideally knock this out in a few weeks. It's not that big of an issue. Level up a max move 20 times. So there is a couple of these in here. Like there's a max battle coming up too as well. It's very maxed, max battling focused power-ups. And as someone who doesn't really do those, these are the ones I'm just like, I'll do it just to power up, but it at this point it's going to feel like wasted dust and candies from my end because it's a part of the game that I just now play. And people are going to say that when we get to level 80 and you need to do battles in GBL. They always I don't, again, I'm not even saying I don't agree with this because it is part of the game. It's just an annoying, for me, it's an annoying one at this level because I just I do not care about Dynamax. I do not care about max battles. I don't care about any of that solo aspect of the game, just like people won't care about GBL aspect. So that's one that I'll do, but it's going to feel like a resource for no reason, which I understand you can use them, but again, I just don't do them much. 200 kilometers, there's a 200 kilometers and a 300 kilometers on here. So I work from the office right now 2 times a week. And with that 2 times a week, and I try to go for walks in the morning and walks at lunch, I'm about 25 kilometers a week, which is, if I just keep that pace, it's 2 months. Again, this is walking when it is right now fall, and it's getting colder. It's like 5-10 degrees here, but that's still walkable weather. By the time I'm level 74, it is going to be peak winter, 2 feet of snow, minus 20 degrees outside. Am I going to be walking 25 kilometers every week then? No. So it seems like this is one that's going to take a while, potentially. This is also one, and level 75 is the same here, that I see it as a potential where again, do I care about people who cheat the game? I don't care as much, because it's one of those things where I always have the opinion, like, as long as it's not, if what you're doing, the way you play the game, as long as it doesn't affect me, like, you do you, right? I don't really care if you want to use if you want to, what's it called, spoof in and do your thing and get your account and get all these Pokemon and whatever, like, do you. So that when I see the 200 kilometers at level 74 and I see the 75 eggs at 75, I immediately think like it was a sock back in our day, but I think there's like the electronic one now that you can just basically trick your phone to think that you're walking. I just think level 74 and level 75, the eggs and kilometers are just going to be, and the 300 kilometers at 76 are just going to be exploited by like people using cheats to up their kilometers, which again, does it bother me? You do you. It just that it, so I think people will kind of speed through this one, but some others who don't do that and don't get out more will take a little bit of a while. 999 great throws at 75. Again, this is one where you just got to take that auto catcher off and just do it by hand. Great throws, still not hard. If it was excellent throws, we'd have a problem, but great throws are still pretty manageable. And it doesn't even say like curveball throws, right? It just says great throws. So if you can't curveball throw, it's okay. 500 gifts to friends. If you're prioritized sending out 20 a day, it shouldn't be more than like 3-4 weeks. Again, the kilometers, defeat 100 rocket grunts. There's rocket events all over the time. If you live near a bunch of Pokestops, they seem to pop up, plus you get the balloons that come. So I think 76 seems very doable. Again, the kilometers there, people may exploit that. 77, 100 max battles. Again, do I care about this? Do I want to do this? No. Is it doable? Yes. Like, there are tons of power spots, and there's tons that have a level 1 that you can do, and those you aren't really wasting a ton of the dust or whatever it's called to do. So it's 100 max battles is more accessible than winning like 20 raids, quite honestly. Maybe not quite, because you have your free raid, but but you can like run through hundreds of max battles. You can run through like a lot of level 1 max battles and be fine with it. So that's not too bad. Power up 7 Pokemon to their XP. I am assuming that much like these platinum medals, it will take previous powered up Pokemon there, and they won't make you power up new Pokemon, because like the new ones are going to be like 71 power up legendary mythical Pokemon 20 times. That's going to be one that you have to do new. But the ones that are power up 7 Pokemon to their max CP, is going to be, as long as you have them at the max CP already, you're good. So I think a lot of people, hell, I don't even play, like I have like no Master League Pokemon, but I have at least 7 of non-legendary Pokemon between Metagross and Dragonite and Florges and all those that are level 50, Machamp, so that are level 50 already, that I'm just going to get that one. Make 10 trades with Pokemon caught at least 300 kilometers apart. This is not as bad as you think either, especially if you open eggs, right? If you have someone outside. So my suggestion for level 77 is if you have eggs that you get and you get from other countries, keep them, find a local buddy, trade those egg ones for regional, like local ones, and then they'll be over 300 kilometers apart. You'll knock that out very quickly. When we're getting up to 444 platinum medals, 47 platinum medals, 50 platinum medals, I'll go back to the platinum medals in a second, because I think this is one that you actually may need to focus on, like how to actually accomplish those things, because these seem pretty tough. 400 hearts with your buddy. The good news about the buddy, 400 seems like a lot. First of all, 400 kilometers. Again, I just think people are going to exploit that. Again, as someone who averages 25 kilometers a week, so what? For 4 weeks to get 100 kilometers, it's going to take me 16 weeks to do 16 weeks, which now we're looking at like 4 months to just get 400 kilometers. Like, it just seems like an exploit's going to happen. Field research, again, this is going to take one. Is it doable? Yes. Is it going to be quick for the average player? No. But it's one that I'm now, because what I've always been doing is, because I don't play a lot, I just kind of sit on my tasks. And I don't find the majority of the tasks have good rewards. I find the rewards in the tasks are quite bad. So what I always do is just make sure to keep my streak going. I basically always have the 3 there, and I don't click them even if I've completed them. And then the next day, click 1, let it sit there. The next day, click 1, let it sit there. And by that time, I'm getting the bonus one in. I'm just not doing it. So to complete the research, you're gonna have to make a conscious effort there. And the thing about the buddies is that you are allowed to just cycle your buddies. So you can earn a bunch of hearts with your buddy, like 20 of them, and then just cycle to a new one and just keep going and keep going, keep going. So you can kind of plow through that. I think it's the other tasks that are going to be the issue. Defeat a Team Go Rocket leader 30 times. So you got to kind of cycle through. Doesn't seem too hard. Hatch 100 eggs. Again, we're getting into the kilometers and the eggs. Just seems like is either going to take a while for the average person, or maybe some people walk a lot. But even if you're walking like 50 kilometers a week, it's still going to take 8 weeks for 100, right? So it's still going to take a while, even if you're putting in the kilometers, but there's that. And then level 79, level 50, 999 excellent throws. That's going to take a while. Holy smokes. Excellence, that's going to be a little tough. And then, yes, win 80 trainer battles in GBL. So a lot of people won't like doing that. But again, even if you suck at GBL, even if you're like one of the worst players in GBL, if you play all 25 battles a day, and let's say you win 5, you have a 20% win rate, which you probably can do more than 20%. But even if you win 5, you're only looking at, what is that, 16 days? You're only looking at 16 days to do it, which is just over 2 weeks, which is significantly less than the majority of these other tasks could take the average person. So, people will, I'm sure when people get to level 80, they'll complain about it. But if you put in the basic sets per day, you're doing this in like 2 weeks. And that was with 5 wins out of 25. So if you up it to 10 wins out of 25, we're still like only like a 40% win rate. Is that the math? You will finish it in 8 days. So like, it's compared to some of these other ones, it's not that big of a deal. But I know people will not like that one. But like 80 raids, hell, I'd rather win 800 battles in the Go Battle League than do 80 raids. So that's going to take a while for someone who doesn't raid much either. But the platinum medal, 50 medals seems like a lot. Again, as someone who's been playing forever, I've probably have a lot of these, like kilometers, Kanto, Pokemon caught, Pokemon evolved, hatched eggs. I don't even hatch a lot. Pokestops feds it. Like, I will definitely have all these. I wish I checked how many I had. I shoot off my phone, so I can't check right now. Gym battles one. Yeah, I've definitely done the majority of these. I'm a lot of these are, I think a lot of these are like evolving. Like, people catch but maybe don't think about evolving. If you have thousands of candies for like a Caterpie or just like a basic Pokemon, like, start just evolving them before you to grind them up. unique unknowns caught. That's kind of a more unique, like unique one. Non-legendary raids one, like it just, again, this is one that you just maybe need to focus, and then legendary raid one. So just you gotta raid more. Berries at a gym. I feed a lot of berries at gyms because that's how I get poke coins in the game, is through gyms. So I do feed berries, so that should not be in. Then hours defended. So it's just a lot of these aspects. I'm trying to see if there's like, you need to do this, you need to start thinking about doing this. Like the only strategy I have is like Pokemon Evolved. If you catch like the ones that only cost 25 to evolve, your Caterpies and your basic, like if they're like multiple evolutions in the first evolution there, are usually pretty cheap. You can probably run through a bunch of those. A lot of the other ones are just like, you need to catch Pokemon, you need to raid, you need to feed berries, you need specific Pokedex, so you need to catch the Pokemon that are out there. Field research tasks, best friends. So start 20 doesn't seem like a lot. Again, I have hundreds and hundreds, but if you're newer, start sending those gifts every single day, right? Trades, 2,500 trades could seem like a lot if you don't trade a lot. Start finding someone in your community to just trade with, it, like at a lunch hour. If you have friends or like coworkers or whatever who play the game, just find someone that you can just do some trades. Even better now with guaranteed trade XL candy, right? And then distance trading, if you have some of these long distance ones, you can just knock out those. So again, a lot of these aren't anything that you need to go out of your way to focus on. It's just that you need to actually make them a focus. Winning in the Great League, Ultra League, Master League. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to these win and trainer battles in the Ultra League, Great League, and Master League, I'm pretty sure you can do this just against someone else. Like you can play a Master League battle against your friend and have them come in with 10 CP Pokemon and take them out in like one move 3 times in a row, and you will win a battle in the Master League. I'm pretty sure, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that could be an answer there. Shadow Pokemon Purified 1,000, right? That's already one of the taskings to purify 100, so just make sure you're stocking up there. Go Rocket, go Boss. Have buddy Pokemon at Best Buddy, right? So start Best Buddying a bit. So this is again one that you can do. Have Best Buddy. Have buddy Pokemon at Best Buddy. Is Best Buddy the highest one? So that may take some time. So you might want to start cycling through all these Pokemon. That's one I actually may need to put some time into. When you get into Wayfair stuff, like I'm not doing any of that. I will be nowhere close to that. The specific indexes, you just got to do what you got to do. Catch what's out there. Raid one with a friend. Just invite people to raid. If you remember on my friends list, you may see that I invite people constantly to raids who's online. Doesn't mean you have to join. It's one of those things where it's just like I throw it out there. I usually have enough people in person when I send them out. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time I do. If you want to join, great. I don't think it's not a bad idea to just send out an invite to friends when you are raiding, even if you have enough people in person. I always just sort by online. Anyone who's a member of the channel, level 1 or level 2 member, or I guess level 2 member, who are on my friends list, I prioritize them, and then otherwise I just whoever's online. Refer other trainers. 50? Ooh, that's not happening. Yeah, and then it's just like different size Pokemon, so you just kind of catch. Oh, unique Pavilion. Ooh, I have not been doing that, so I do not have the 18, that's for sure. And then complete routes, if routes are going to be out there, gotta complete them. So there's a lot of party challenges. There's a lot of medals here that I think people can do, but they may just not actively prioritize them. Like, can I do 200 party challenges? Yes. Have I done 50? No. I don't even know if I've done 10 because I don't do party. But if I can prioritize it and do them, and that's just, so I would suggest kind of reading through this list and see, like, is there something that I'm not prioritizing that I could be prioritizing to hit that? Because the 50 is a lot. Like 50 medals is a lot of medals. Anyways, that's my thoughts on level 80. Overall, 95% positive. The tasks are reasonable. Most of these, pretty much all of these are reasonable. The rewards have seemed to be great. I still think the XP is a little low, but otherwise, I think it is just a very positive thing for the game that should increase interest, at least in the short term. When people start hitting level 80, we'll see from there. But for now, this is definitely a kick up of interest in the game. So that's my thoughts on level 80. Let me know how much XP you have. Let me know your thoughts on level 80. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.